Marina Purkiss is a political commentator, co-hosts the podcast The Trawl, which is available on Global Player. And Marina joins me now. Your view or your comments on Mr. Lineker's comments. Marina, morning.
Morning, Nick. I've got to say, just listening to that conversation between you and Oliver, it was done in such poor faith. I cannot believe that the two of you are discussing the fact that he is doing this because he likes to stir trouble and not because, like so many of us, we cannot bear to stand by and keep watching this happen. Why are we talking about an emoji, which I truly believe he did not know what he was doing, like so many would not have known that, right? Just let me finish, Nick. He cannot bear the fact that just in the last couple of days, 57 Palestinian children, Nick, are dying of malnutrition because they are being starved. We have to stop having this conversation where people who want to speak out are going to be so scared to put a foot wrong and be labelled an anti-Semite when that is not what this is. This is about people standing up for humanity, Nick.
Okay. Couple of things. Firstly, you refer that he didn't know about the trope of the rat. In 2023, you'll remember, Mr. Lineker faced calls to be sacked when he claimed the Conservative government's migration policy used, and I quote, language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s. Well, that language and that logo, that trope, was alive in the 30s. So,
okay. Let me ask the question then, Nick. Do you genuinely in your heart think that Gary Lineker posted that, seeing a rat and thinking, I am going to send a subtle message out that I am anti-Semitic?
No, he's not. Right, so I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's not anti-Semitic.
So why are we having that conversation? And why are we not talking about Gary Lineker's right to free speech? Nick, do you believe in free speech?
Well, respectfully, sitting where I've done and having been a journalist for 45 years, what do you think?
Okay, so
and being the son of a journalist,
right?
What do you think?
So exactly.
Right.
So when you are a sports pundit, Nick, you do not forego your right to free speech. Yes, he is paid by the BBC.
Hold on.
He's made so clear, time and time again, that his views are his own. And while he's a sports pundit, he is also a public figure. He is a citizen. He is a human being that is seeing this genocide live streamed to us daily, Nick, and he's using his platform to speak out.
Marina, he's also, of course, been warned about impartiality or staying impartial by his employer, which is the state broadcaster that you and I have to fund.
Okay. So if he was to come out and say something about Putin being a monster for bombing hospitals, would it ruffle the same feathers, or does it just become a question of impartiality when it is Palestine?
I would think they're rather nervous with the comments about Donald Trump in that he says America is now led by people who look like Bond villains. I wouldn't imagine that's gone down particularly well with BBC bosses.
Can we go back to the point, Nick? Let's not go off on a tangent here, right?
No, you did not. Marina, you took me to Ukraine. No, you took me to Ukraine. You decided to take me away, and I accept that. So I'm now going to take you to his comments on the United States. I think that's fair, Marina.
Bond villains. Nick, why are you trivialising this
I'm not trivial. That was his words, not mine.
Are they behaving like Bond villains over in the US? Is the richest man taking away food?
You're missing the point.
Poorest children. Yes,
he's meant to stay impartial. My point I'm making is
there are some things, Nick, that you cannot be impartial about. And one day we will look back, and I don't know if you're going to be here or I'm going to be here. We're going to look back at this genocide, and people might remember this conversation on LBC this morning and say how deeply pathetic that while a genocide was going on, we were debating whether a sports pundit should be allowed to talk about it. If we strip away the speech of people with a platform to speak about stuff like this, then who is going to stand up for people who are suffering?
Even though he doesn't seem particularly good with his studies of history, it only suits when it suits him.
So only people who know every single intricacy can speak out. What you're doing then is you're silencing.
You can't use the Germany in the 60s only for the part you want, can you?
Are you telling me now? I would ask all of your listeners right now. No, I'm going to ask all your listeners now if every single person would have known that about that emoji.
Well, I think the point you have to take there is that he's happy to cite it in 2023 as regards the Conservative government, but he conveniently forgets this earlier this week with that post that he moved on. Marina, I've enjoyed our conversation. You look after yourself. Marina Purkiss is a political commentator. Check out The Trawl, the podcast The Trawl. You'll find it on Global Player.